Well, here we go for a particularly nice route. If any of you live in the Woking, Knapp Hill, Bisley, West End, Goldsworth Park sort of areas, you'll know that the 322 is far too dangerous really to take your families on the road, but there are some back ways out there, and most of it is either across common land or gravel or very, very quiet back roads. So I've shown here how you can access it from Knapp Hill, which is at the end of the High Street Limecroft Road, onto Stafford Lake Road, or at Bisley at the edge of Shaftesbury Road, or maybe Brentmore Road, or one of the others in West End. But you're cutting across the 322 and then you're following along, and then when we cut across behind Donkey Town, we get up towards Lightwater and we just follow the red road along to the left. You can see that's all common land around the edge of the range, following the fence, and then we cut off. So here's the entrance. The entrance from Queen's Road, if you want to get in there, which is where we're going, is down the long and short Siberia Road, which is opposite sort of building area. But if you're coming from Bisley, you may wish to join it, and you can get to this once you've crossed the roundabout. The easiest way is the one shown, but there is a back road which you might find more useful. And if you live further on, you can get onto Lucas Green Road from Ford Road as well. So any of those roads will connect up. And then when we get down Lucas Green Road, we're at the quiet end. You have to go past a little bit of an industrial area, but it's very, very low level industrial. There's just some compost containing company, and then we're up Priest Lane. We go and then cut across the common really after West End, and we're just following along the red road here in the path shown. Very, very easy to do. So here we are. Now I've slowed this right down, so it's a bit jittery, but not as fast as the other one, and we're just heading up Limecroft Road here. The Garibaldi is just behind us. We're going to cut left, and it's all cycle lane, but you could just walk across. There is a proper walking path there across the traffic lights, and we're now going to head down Stafford Lake Road. Now just be a little bit careful, because although it's tarmacked, it's literally falling apart. It was a beautiful quality road that they'd done up for the visit of the Queen Mother many years back to Princess Christian Homes that's down the end. Then it got taken over by Nelsar, and when the building work was done, it was horrendous, and the road just fell apart. And then we veer right here. Now you can go straight ahead and get up to Water Lane and Queen's Road that way, but it gets really boggy in the winter, so I would recommend this follow round, and then we're just going to turn left up here and go around the old parade ground that used to be there, that's now all grassed over, the new cottage over there in the corner, and past these bungalows. Now get us on to Queen's Road, which is coming up just here. Not quite there yet. Here we go. Now Queen's Road can get quite fast and busy, but the chances are you'll hit it elsewhere. Now there is some pavement along, but it doesn't really go all the way, and this is the one bit of road that I would say, you know, you might just want to be a little bit more careful. But you can see on the right there is a bit of pavement there, but we're going to go left just up here. So you'll see this car park opposite the builder's yard. We head down here, and then there's a couple of paths on the right. They all converge into one, but we're going to head off up this path on the right, and that takes us through the woods. And you can either then go later on across the wildlife reserve, which is almost straight ahead, or you can veer right as we're doing here, and that will take us beside the prison. But either way will get us to the back of the playing fields. But what we're doing here is I just took this road, and that'll take us on to Shaftesbury Road, simply so that those of you that are coming in from Bisley can see where we're going. So here we are on Shaftesbury Road, but we could have just carried on, and I'm just going to turn in up here, which is just by the roundabout. Now we're doing this on a tandem. If you're not on a tandem, then you'll find it very easy on your solo bikes, and if it's adults, of course, you can do what you like. So we're going to go left here, and then left again, sort of hard left rather, and now we're following along behind that little shed pavilion thing in front of a few houses, and down the back up to the pond, and then we're going to hit Ford Road. So here we go, and we get onto Ford Road, and we just follow this down. And Ford Road is usually pretty quiet. Very rarely much traffic on there. We've just seen a van go past, but that's about it, I think. So it's barely a double track road. We're going to go left here onto Lucas Green Road, and there's one of those compost vans going past, but they're few and far between. And we follow Lucas Green Road. Now this is a long road, and I remember years ago when this almost backed onto the Siberias. It was very quiet up here, and there were just a few cottages. There's been quite a bit of building now, and one of the farms has given way to a sort of light industrial where they bag up compost, and there's a really nice butcher there. So where you see these signs coming up on the right, you can get some meat in there. It's really nice. So let's anyway carry straight on, and you'll see it says that it's a closed road, and that's because when it turns into Priest Lane it just sort of vanishes. So here we go. Now just you veer left at this point, and this is Priest Lane. It's barely wide enough for a car. There are a few houses down here, and then it just gives way, and you've got this bridle path gate that prevents vehicles but allows things to go across, and it's just common land on our left. We head down, and there's some farm fields on the other side of the trees on our right, but now we're going between two fields. It's a lovely place to go in the summer, actually. I do envy the people that live down there. So we're going to work our way along Priest Lane. Very safe, very quiet, no cars ever. And then we've just got a little bit of the road in West End. So we're going to hit Brentmore here, and you'll see there's another cyclist there. And it's the quiet end of Brentmore, but then we just turn off and we start heading across the common. So we really didn't spend any time on Brentmore Road at all, and we're now on the common, and the houses of Donkey Town are really over there on our right, and this is a long road, but it's, as you can see, it's common land, it's gravel. Now they were doing a little bit of pipe work laying, so taking a few trees down further up, but their vehicles are pretty much static all the time, so you can see what's going on. This is a nice bit of gravel. If any of you are gravel riders or MTB riders, you will find this is quite a fun place to go across. You can go quite fast if you wanted to. Don't forget to indicate to any pedestrians that are there that you're coming along. The chances are they won't hear you because they've probably got earbuds in and they're listening to music. But we just follow round, keep the fence to your left to begin with, and see those power lines above. Well, we'll be working our way to the end of those. But they were doing a bit of work here. This whole section on the left has been badly hit by all the fires that we had on the common land last summer. So we just follow along this gravel. It goes on for a considerable amount of time. Past a bit more work, and we're up against the road really that leads up to Red Road. So from the West End roundabout, it's the one that goes left towards Lightwater. So as you see, they're doing a bit of clearing work there, but the vehicles are all static. We're going to work our way around. You can see the power lines crossing ahead. Just keep those in your view and you should be all right crossing here. Mind you, it's just stick to the road really. What's great about it is you can see it going up and down in the future. So if you have very youngsters, you might find that they struggle a bit on the gravel, but that's why I say make a day out of it really, and you can spend some time at Lightwater Country Park. Just check that their visitor centre and cafe is open, which is near the car park that they've got, so you can always drive, or you could go one way and have somebody pick you up in the car at the other end. So now we're rejoining the fence, and we're actually between the power lines and the fence, and we're going to follow this line down, and you can see this road rising up ahead. But try not to go too fast because we're over sand. A little bit more tree work been going on there, and we just keep going, following between the power lines on our right and Red Road, and on our left it's the keep out fence. But in fact on the left you can see it's been badly burnt. They were horrendous fires in the summer of 22 and they didn't seem to go out, and our houses were all full of smoke. But it is a very nice place to be. It's very peaceful despite the busy road that's on the other side of those trees on our right. There's no issues really at all, and there's plenty of places, and it's quite an adventure to take your children on. And if you're adults, as I say, you can go herring down here at a different time when the kids are not going to be on, and there's plenty to explore. But I would actually almost follow the track and head off into Lightwater Country Park. So past a bit more building work. And we've not got far to go now, so we'll round this corner, which was a little bit steep because they'd been doing some work there and the surface was just a little bit soft for us on a tandem. Tandems are a little bit harder because you need to account for the fact that the rear wheel could spin. But here we go ahead, and just keep your eye on the right there. That's where that bunch of pine trees, we're going to cut through there, through the pines, and that takes us up to Red Road, right by the roundabout. And there's a shared pedestrian cycle crossway, so we cross this bridge, we just go straight over the road if we can onto the cycle path on the other side, and now we follow this cycle path, cross another bit of road. Now we've got one more crossing to do just across here, so we cut across and into the woodland. Now this is the old tank testing area. If you look at the map you'll see it's just a complete litter of roads, but we just go straight ahead and you'll find that all the ditches have been crossed with old railway sleepers, so you can get across quite easily. And you're going to essentially follow this path, so don't get distracted by turning left and right, because you could spend all day going backwards and forwards here. And mountain bikers quite often like to spend some time here, although I would recommend that they went to Swinley Forest, which is a little bit further on to the other side of Bagshot. But you can carry on up here, and then we're going to meet the country path track, which is much wider and broader and more gravelly. So this can get a little bit muddy in the winter, but chances are you're not taking families down then. We carry on. We go past everybody, and now we're getting very near to Lightwater Country Park, and here we go. So we've now crossed onto the edge of the park, and we're going to head our way up to this section, follow around, and you just follow the path, and that takes us up this last bit of hill, which is not too steep, but then we carry on to the observation area, which is up here. The moment you see the fencing closing at each side, we know we're there. So thank you for joining us. Great views from the top. You can see London, you can see Windsor, you can see all sorts of places. Definitely worth a visit, and then you go down into the country park and have a great day of it. So here is the route that's available on Komoot if you want to do it, and you see on the right hand side download GPX. But what I'd really like you to do is to click the subscribe button and also the like button, and really want to thank you for watching. It's always a joy to meet you. We've got loads of rides in this area, plus plenty throughout the rest of the UK, and we'd encourage you to check out the list on our channel and also on our Komoot page, which you can see is Paul and Diane on the tandem. But we look forward to you joining us on the next one. I think the next will be probably Swinley Forest, because it's just interesting. But until then, bye.